colors. Well, this is the one Christmas gift that I was really excited to share with you. The original idea for this item is not my original idea as far as the book goes, but I changed it up into a puppy treat recipe book rather than a regular recipe book. And what we did this year is my daughter is a dog trainer, and she has lots of doggy friends and doggy and puppy loves. So we made a few of these for Christmas for some of her friends this year. And basically what this is we just put in recipes for doggy treats. Now, the one that I'm going to show you today, it's not a finished one in the sense where I added all the recipes. So you don't have to add recipes to this. You can also leave it as a picture book for your friend. Whatever you'd like to do. Basically, the book itself is very, very simple. I have tied it with ribbons here, but some people have used the rings. The rings that I had were a little bit big for this, so I decided to use the ribbon to tie this off. And I'm going to show you how to make one of the pages for this book, and it's just replicating that each time. So it's not a very hard book to make at all. The hardest thing about it is that it takes a while to do the matting. That's the hardest part of the whole thing. So on the front here, this front cover and the back cover is a piece of, you can use chipboard or you can use really heavyweight cardstock, but I use chipboard, and it is 4 by 6. Let me just 100% make sure. It might be a little bit more than that. It is, I'm sorry. So the cover is 6 3/4. Yep, 6 3/4 by 4. Sorry about that. 6 3/4 by 4. And on the front, these are just stickers from my sticker sheet that I took off. I just wanted to make it something plain, not plain, but something simple and nothing too difficult because we were making so many of them when we had done this. So if I open this cover up, you see that there's a front part of this book, and I've seen it done where somebody's put a pocket on the side here or put a pocket here. I wanted to leave this open for the opportunity to put pictures in there of the dog itself. And then on this page, what I've done is use stickers on this page, but I've left it open so that I can still get the picture underneath that sticker. Now in my daughter's books that we did, we actually put the pictures down because we pulled the recipes from the internet. So we printed off the recipes and we took the pictures and put the pictures down, and then we put the stickers on the book. So it turned out it was much easier as far as layouts for the stickers. So what this is we matted each one of these pages, and I'll give you the measurements when we're doing it ourselves. And then I double matted here with a black and a white. And then my place photo here, this is actually from this stamp set. It's Wilbur's Photo Spot, and this was something that I had asked Tamara if we could ever have a doggy stamp that says for a place photo with Wilbur on there. And as any of you know, that Wilbur is the mascot for Country Craft Creations. So I'll check to see if these are in stock, and I'm not going to get them up tonight, but I will get and put links in tomorrow for these items from Country Craft Creations. It's the only place you can get this, and I haven't seen this type of place photo stamp anywhere else, but you can see there's really cute ones. There's a stamp of Wilbur and place photo here. I took the paw because these were a little bit smaller pictures. There's even bones, and then there's even one of Wilbur that is a thank you. So this is a really cute place your photo here stamp. And then on this, we also put some paper along here. Some of this paper was cut from some remnants that came off, but we also used the border strips at the bottom or bottom of our paper, so you can see that's even something that works well. The other thing that I'm going to do after I'm done here, by tomorrow, I'll put the links in. I will put the link in where the original design for this recipe album came from, so you can go there and see some of the helpful hints that were given in that video, and you can get directly to link to those videos. So what we also have here is we have a card inside. So the way we made our books, for the pictures for the recipe, then the recipe could go on the front of here, and we just trimmed them all down so they could. Now, some people I saw have done where they mitered these corners so it looks like a tag, punched a hole in here, and oh, you know what? I wonder if I have one of, no, I don't have the finished recipe piece right here, because it was actually used as a swap. So you can do what so this looks like a little bit of a tag. The other thing that they did is punched a hole in here and put some tie or ribbon on there. I just preferred to leave it without the ribbon. I thought it looked cleaner. And then this was using a 1-inch punch, but when I went to do the other books, we changed and I used a 2-inch punch. I liked the opening on that a little better, and it fit the paper a little bit better as well. So if I just go through this easily, you can see that there's lots of room, and all of these stickers are picked up so that you can put, well, this might be sticking down. Of course it is, because I said it isn't. There you go. There's enough there so that you can actually put the picture underneath that. All of them should be like that. And I just matted front and back on all of these. And the other thing is let's say your recipe is a little bit longer and it has to go onto the back of the card. You can put the recipe on the front and then put a picture of your dog on the back of there, or you know, whatever you'd like to do. You could probably even fit 2 mats in here if these weren't too thick, but I used a heavyweight cardstock for that. And here is some more little puppies and the papers. And the paper was bought from, it's an Echo Park paper called Stay Pawsitive, and really, really cute design. I got it at Country Craft Creations. If there's still some left, I will put the link in the box below as well. And then this one I just did your possum on there. And then this is the back cover. And again, I left this plain so that we can put a picture on the back of here, maybe some stickers. And then this is the back of our book. And it just closes down like that. So it makes it very easy to open and close. And it's very easy to do. It's just, again, it just takes a little while only because of all the matting. So let me show you how you do the pages, and then this way you can go ahead and you can get started on this. The recipe books that we did for our swap actually has 10 pages in it, but I thought that 10 pages was way, way too much for doing something like the doggy treats. So I decided to do it just as 5 pages for the doggy treats. So you're going to have to cut 5 pieces of this black cardstock, and this is black cardstock. You can use any that you like. I like Artisan cardstock from Country Craft Creations. It's a linen cardstock, probably about 83, 84 pounds. And what you're going to do is cut 5 of them at 6 3/4 by 8 1/2. And then you're going to go ahead and score on the 6 3/4 side. You're going to score down at 3/4 of an inch. And then turn your page, and you're going to score this at 4 inches and at 8 inches. And that's all the scoring that's going to be done. So if you cut all 5 of these to start with, you will then you've got those all done and scored at the same time. Now, the covers, again, do not need any scoring on them. So as you're cutting your paper, you can go ahead and cut this at 6 3/4. Let me just make sure. 6 3/4 by 4. 6 3/4 by 4. And you can, this is chipboard. Sorry, this is chipboard, not paper, but if you wanted to do most of your cutting at once and then do all your assembly. So the next thing that we're going to do is take this, and we're going to burnish all those score lines. Now, the only score lines that you're going to actually be burnishing on this are the 2 score lines, the 4 and 8 inch score lines. This score line over here, you're not going to burnish that because this is going to be the end of the book that just moves like that. So you really don't want to burnish that. So once we've got this down, what we want to do is take our glue. You know what? Sorry, I'm going to miter these corners just because it'll make it a little bit easier. All right. And then I'm going to put my glue on here. I was just using this. It's the only thing about glue that is frustrating to me is that the nozzle gets jam-packed sometimes. I do clean them, but I'm not saying I don't clean them after every time I use them, because I wouldn't use them then. If I had to clean them every single time I did, it would be too frustrating for me. I do clean my stamps, though, every time after I'm done using them. That's the one that I do, but the glue top is not my favorite for having to clean. So then a couple other things that we're going to be doing on here. One of the things that's important is that you want to make one of these as a template for the other pages that are going into your book. So it's important that if we're punching this, that we want to use this then as our template for all the punches on it, because of the fact that we want to make sure they match going all the way down. Same thing with the holes in the page. We want to make sure that our template matches up. And so what I mean by that is I have one over here that I was making another book for. So if I'm going to use this as a template, some of the things that I'm going to do is, you can see our holes are right here. I'm going to make sure that my hole goes in here. The other thing that I'm going to make sure that I do is that is to make sure that if this is the way that I have set the template on here, I'm going to make sure this stays to be the front of my book. And actually, you know what? I want to change that because my glued edge is on this side. I'd rather have it on, yeah, I'd rather have that facing down. So I'm going to redo that template onto here. The only reason why I say that is because they may not, if I'm looking at these may be just slightly off on the end from the other side. So I just try to make sure that I remember this is my front. So one of the ways that I can do that is I can do that by the type of paper that I'm putting down. So if you look at this paper, this is a directional paper. This one isn't directional, so I can really put it almost anywhere on here. But I'm going to put this directional here, and when I'm going to apply this paper, I'm going to turn it like this and put this on like that, so that I'm not So I'm not taking it and flipping it, because if you're using any directional paper, you want to make sure they're always going in the right direction. All right, so what we're going to do is I'm going to go ahead and, where's my punch? I'm going to use the 3/16, and I've set my my hole guide for 1/2 of an inch. So I'm just going to go in where that hole is, and I'm going to punch that. And I'm going to punch this. Now you can do one of two things. You can do it like this, like when I did it, or you can go ahead and you can wait till you put your pattern paper on there. So again, I'm just checking where this is, and I'm going to go ahead and do my punch for here. So what I want to do with this is take my guide again. I'm going to take my guide and I'm going to match it up with my holes, and I'm going to do the right along here. Now, my daughter, when she did these, she actually did them right through both sides, but I'm not that strong. I can't really do that, so I'm gonna see how this goes. So I'm going to put my, oh my gosh, maybe I'll have to do that or try to do that. I used a smaller punch in the past, but I like this bigger punch better. So I've got this matched up in here. Let me see, maybe I can do this. Got this matched up in here where I've drawn my my punch, and just matching that up. Let's see if I can do it. Oh, I did it. Yay. Maybe she did 2 at a time. I'm not sure. So this is how you're going to do your punch in there. And then you want to put your papers, let me make sure I'm on the right one, your paper, it's going to be on this side and this side. So what we want to do is take these sheets and put them underneath here as this template, and I'm going to try to get them centered on the back of here, but I want to make sure they're facing the way that I want them to face on my paper, and I'm matching them up to the bottom. So I've got that template drawn there, and I'm just going to match up those lines, and I'm going to punch. And so what we're going to do then is we're going to attach these pieces of paper onto here so that they're a little bit backed off from the end, and it does a pretty good job of giving kind of an edge here. The one thing that I found that works best for me is that I punched all the pattern paper and then glued them down right away, because even though they're supposed to match up to what I cut on here, I found that I ended up with some that I wasn't happy with the way that they matched up with the paper or the page. But I'm not sure whether it's just my OCD-ness or if it really was an issue. I just wasn't as happy. So I'm a little bit more happy with it if I'm doing each page at a time. And just trying to center this so it looks pretty even. And then we're going to turn it like this, just like we would turn a book page. And I always match up to make sure that it's right the way that I want it to be. Okay, and this would have been a little bit off because I've got some pencil lines there. So we're going to glue this one down. And now you can also, if you want to, and if the white on the page or the side of the page along here, if you want to use your vintage photo, go ahead, feel free to do that. I did not do that on these because there was a lot of white pages along here, and I just thought it looked fine. Really didn't bug me. So got that, and then I'll turn it back over. And what I ended up doing then for the cards inside here, I actually made a change this time around. I made them a little bit smaller. I made this 5 3/4 by 3 3/4. 5 3/4 by 3 3/4. I thought they fit a little bit better, and the other ones to me stuck. Oh, you know what? Oh my gosh. You know, only when you get on camera do you make the mistakes that you never would normally make. So what you want to do when you're gluing down this side, like I did, you need to also glue along this end. Now you don't want to go past this score line because this is the part that's going to close up. As you see, the tag went right through. Yes, that's because I didn't do what I was supposed to do. I could start over and make it look like I never make mistakes, but, you know, I don't think it's worth it. I think we all make mistakes, and it is what it is, and it's not like it's really life-altering. So there we go. So again, you want to, you wanted to glue on that edge that put it all together, and then you just want to glue down on this 3/4 inch, from the 3/4 inch score line to the end, so that this closes up in here. And then what you can do is then it fits, and it doesn't go all the way through. So there you go. You've got your little page like that. So the last thing that we're going to go ahead and do, really, in putting this together, is I have taken and matted these photos, and the black page is measured 3.5 by 4. The white is 3 1/4 by 3 3/4, and then it's just glued on top of here. And but the one thing that I did do is I did stamp all the white ones before I glued them down to the black ones, because in case I made a mess. The other thing is that if you are making 5-page book, you need to make 10 of these, because you want one for the front and for the back of the page. So one of the things that you can do is that if you want to put the stamp on there, then get out your MISTI if you have one, and go ahead and just put the stamp right where you want it, and then use your MISTI for stamping it all those times. And again, we're going to turn our page over, and we're going to glue this one down. The way I like to do this is I like to put this towards the end of this page. Now you can put it toward this end if you like, completely up to you. But I like to, I'm keeping them about as consistent on each one. So then that's our 2 pages with our matting. One of the last things that we're going to do is, as we talked about, we had our ends from our paper. And what I am going to do is I'm actually going to glue these ends onto the end of here. So this is what I was saying, is that you can wait till you put your paper on before you punch it. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. So just do whatever you're comfortable with. But what I am going to do is I am going to go ahead And I will punch on this side before I put the other piece down. And I'll just turn this over and match this up. I think it would have been easier if I would have waited and just did all this when I was placing it down. And I did on the other ones. I just forgot as I was going along here, thinking I was trying to go in order. And then what I would do is take this other one, and again, this is just a strip from the end. So I used remnants and strips. That's part of the reason why I actually on some of this, oh, let me do this. I want to make sure I'm getting this the right way. You know, that's the reason why you may want to wait till the end before you punch any of it, or just cover it all and then punch everything at the end once you've got all your papers on the ends and everything. So we'll just go in here, match that up and punch that. And I can see right through there where my paper is. So there we go. We've got our punch all the way through. So the last thing that I would do on these pages, and completely up to you if you want to leave it like that and just put the picture on there. But some of the things that I did, if I didn't have the picture on here and I wanted to dress this up a little bit, what I would do is take some things from my sticker sheet and make sure that it was open on this side. So let's say that I'm going to take this little guy and we want to put it down right here on our page. Take your powder and powder off on that. Or you can do it on your clothes or whatever, however you take the sticky off something. And we're going to make sure that we're going to glue this just halfway down. And the other half is going to stay off so that we can put our picture down underneath. Ooh, there we go, you moved. And for any of the stickers, even if I had already put the picture down, one of the things that would be really important to do is, even if you're sticking them all the way down, I would go ahead and make sure that I put some art glitter glue or wet glue on here so that the stick stays a little bit better. So now this can be called finished. This could, I could decide that I wanted to, let's say I wanted to take another foot or two just to make it so it carried up the page. I could do something like that. Let me see where that other one is. Well, I know there's another one on here, but you know, it's like you can't ever see it. I see these, but I thought there was a little, well, this is a little bit, yeah, this might work. And I'm just going to put these two on here. And if you need to, you can get your tweezers out, which I probably should have. It stuck to my finger. And sometimes what I like to do is to go along and put my bigger stickers on, and then I go back and I might put the smaller stickers on to my pages once I see where I might need to fill in or what I need to do. Some of the other pages that I did I do any on this one? No, I did not. But I might have done something on the side. I know I did one of them, you know, Furry Friends. I thought I did one right along the top. Yeah, your possum. And then you can put something down along the side. We were running out of stickers by that time, but I bought a couple other collections because we needed to finish a few more. So then once you've got all your pages and you've got your cover, chipboard covers, you know, those lined up and everything lined up, then you can just put it all together by tying it with ribbon, or you can use the D-rings or circle rings, whatever you want to put it together. But personally, I just thought this was the cutest little thing. I thought it was really a neat gift. It's not that expensive to make. You can actually, now I've got this stuck in here, yeah, because I glued it. There's other tips and tricks that were shown in the original video. So I'm just going to ask you to take a look at that video, because you can actually cut several sheets of these papers all at one time in order to make the cutting and putting together a little bit faster. So, but that's my tutorial and my walkthrough. I hope you enjoyed this little book. If you have any questions, you know, put them down below. I'll be more than happy to answer any questions that you have. And again, I'll get links put in there probably tomorrow or the next day at the very latest. But they will be in there before the weekend's over with. So I hope you have fun making this little book. It's so cute and so enjoyable. Thanks so much. Have a wonderful, wonderful evening, and we'll see you in the next video.